here we go.
It says upcoming on my.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to. Oh wait, now we're live. Okay, cool. YouTube is just being a huge pain in the ass, but we should be good now. It still says upcoming, but it's actually live. I think. I don't
Might
know.
be a lag.
Everything is so slow right now with it.
Yeah, what's up with the internet?
It's not the internet. It's YouTube specifically.
You're,
Yeah.
you guys are killing robot on my end.
Yeah, you are too, actually.
It might be our internet then.
Okay.
Alright, then I will stop trying to. Okay, I'm seeing
It's
something.
Yeah, now it's working.
Well, I'm gonna stop trying to watch that on my.
Oh wait.
end.
Crap, I'm on the wrong channel. Wait, what the fuck? Why am I on my channel?
What?
Oh, I am. I don't know why it's logged me into the other channel for some reason. It's just really slow. All right. Give me a second. I think I need to restart our router.
Uh-oh, okay.
Stream scene's fine. All right, I'm gonna let's go back on here.
There we go.
You got it?
I think.
All right, I'm waiting for the thing to log. It's to start again. It's connecting the streaming software. Yeah, no, I want to go to that dashboard, you dumb piece of shit. There we go. All right, I think we're actually live again now. Maybe.
are we?
All right, you know, which is super irritating. Oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. It's okay. We're back.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think we're actually audible here. YouTube is just being like incredible and stupid, and every time I try to do anything, it decides to lag out on me. So that's fun. I feel like they changed something at some point.
Logged in on like
worse, markedly.
Reason?
Yeah. I died again. Oh, yeah. It's being annoying. Okay, now it's being, I don't know what the fuck it's doing. Stream health. Here we go. It claims it's excellent. I think it's lying. Anyway. So happy 413, everyone.
Happy 413, bitches.
Happy 413.
How we all doing?
I miss Brad.
I also miss Brad. Did you have a nice Seder?
It was an experience.
Okay. we did a bit. We did the first like proper like extended family one at our place. So we had Anna's parents and my mom and somebody's echoing me back. I don't know who. But yeah, no, it was nice.
It might be my NVIDIA broadcast settings. I know it likes to fuck up.
Oh, okay.
No, I should be fine.
The food at the Seder I went to was good.
That's good.
I should be fine. My noise canceling works.
Okay. Yeah, okay, it's working now, I think.
Just had to turn my mixer down. Because
yeah.
my headphones are open back, so it catches a lot of what's going on in VCs.
Yeah, turn your volume down if that happens. That I've noticed that issue with me as well. Because I use the same headphones as you. We literally have the same headphones.
Yeah, we have the same headphones.
They're good headphones. So yeah, 413. We released our final volume today, which we will not be playing today. We'll be playing it next week. Next Saturday at some point. And we released our second volume of our soundtrack, which we're going to be listening through. Yeah, I'm joined with a couple of other people. Everyone want to introduce themselves in no particular order?
I'm Zara. I did Jari, if anybody here's ever read Jari. Grimdorks.net. I also did end cards for this chapter.
Yeah.
I'm Arrow. I wrote for some of the DMN, Karen, and fuck is the Fozzer route.
Yes.
I voiced Fozzer, and I wrote for some of the clown route.
Yeah. And Anna?
Hello, people of YouTube. I'm Anna, a Heretically Composed. You all know me as the person who, okay, let's try and figure out how much I contributed, because it was a lot. I did several voices. I did Tizia, Skyla, Branya, that one Vriska bit in Volume 5. I wrote Volume 2. I wrote part of Volume 7, and I wrote music for Volumes
2. 7. Wait, no, not 7.
Yeah, I did do 7.
Yeah, you wrote the Chixie theme. That's
5,
right.
6, 7, 9, 11.
Technicolor Heart.
Technicolor Heart. I feel like I'm missing something in there.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff for this game.
You've done a lot of stuff.
It helps that the creator is my wife.
To be fair, we were not in a relationship when this thing started.
I don't know if you saw, but I wrote out a whole little thingy on Blue Sky saying that Friendsim 2, you asking me to make Friendsim 2 4 years ago is directly responsible for us spending the rest of our lives together.
I did see that. And I'm Janaya. I'm the game's director, developer, and lead writer. I wrote a bunch of the routes in whole or in part. I voiced a few characters, most notably, I guess, Torgora, Boldir, and Scratch. Those, I guess, are the real big ones. And a bunch of random bit voices. Yeah, and did all the programming and stuff, and some UI art, and I just whatever needed doing.
You did everything.
I did not do everything.
You did, like...
I did a lot of stuff, but as I've said many times, if it were just me, it would be a game with, like, a bunch of words and no visuals, no music, very few voices, and... like a much more limited script. Still had a lot of other input, so yeah, there's like 100 people that worked on this game, which is crazy. And
you keep cutting in and out on my end.
that is probably our shitty ass. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm playing Jigsaw with the pieces right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
This is so annoying. I don't know what we can possibly do about this because I don't have an internet cord long enough to plug in directly. Let me just...
I know it's probably just a thing you can't do because of internet, so I'm trying to ignore it.
Yeah, this is gonna be great when we just try to actually listen to the music. I'm just checking the internet health. No, it's actually quite fast. What the fuck?
What the actual fuck?
Like, is there anything running that's... I don't think so.
Is it because we're both accessing the internet and your kids?
Maybe? I mean... It's still getting... No, it's getting 200 megabits a second upstream. Like, we should be fine. I don't know if it's, like, Discord or some other...
You could try changing. I know you can change the server that the VC is using on Discord.
Yeah, let me do that.
Or the voice region.
Check to see if the noise suppression's on.
It shouldn't be. I turned it off. Wait. Yeah, no, it's off. How do you change the voice region?
Oh, I don't know. I never looked it up.
Okay, cool. I know you're right, but I don't know how. Region, here we go. Yeah, let's make sure that's US East. Dope.
I hear some applause.
What?
Oh, was that...
iCarly intro.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm good. Alright, well, bleh. Hopefully this doesn't get too bad, but we'll see. Here to listen to the soundtrack and talk about it a little bit. Some of the composers might pop in, some might not. It's fine. This is... Oh my god. Why is it like this? Okay, it seems to be okay. It keeps flitting around, and I'm gonna blame YouTube for it. Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up the thingy about like what the tracks are as start streaming. Go away. Okay, cool. All right. Is it? Now it says the stream health is excellent. I don't know.
Oh, we're so back.
Okay, cool. Is it better in Discord? Like you can actually hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think OBS or something I had running was causing problems. That's fun. I love when that happens. It's always great. All right. Anyway, back to the thing. Anyway, yeah, me. I'm the director of the game. Wrote a bunch of stuff. Did a bunch of voices. Lots of people involved in this project, and a lot of time. 4 years of working on this thing. And that's really cool. So we're gonna listen to some soundtrack stuff, and I'm gonna kind of talk about it, and we can all just kind of chat. So yeah, the first track I'll give some context for is since DBNet is unfortunately not here right now, but this was a song that we did fairly early on in the production process as part of the trailers. I think it was the 612. Was it 612? No, it was the first SOCON trailer. It was the first SOCON trailer, and I wanted original music because the first trailer we did reused some Homestuck music, and I wanted something kind of reminiscent of the like Dead Freight song in was it Dead Freight or was it the Graveyard? Reminiscent of I think it was Dead Freight, reminiscent of like one of the songs from the Hive Swap soundtrack, but with our own twist to it. So we came up with Friendship ? Which is used as the like alternate title theme that plays when you're like halfway through the game. So yeah, I'm gonna play this and we're gonna listen to it. It's not very long. It's like 2 minutes. So yeah, let's go. Streaming it to Discord. I'm playing it on OBS. I'm muted right now. Actually, I'm muted on Discord. People can probably still hear me talking. That's cool. Hi, everyone. Alrighty, yeah. I'm gonna go to the next. Okay, here we go. So yeah, that first song was for our sort of alternate title. Our next thing on the track, by Alex Rossetti, who's a composer who has something of a history with the world of Homestuck in general. They did music for, I believe, the comic, like the Flashes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Alex Rossetti went to my undergrad.
That is great.
Oh, side note, I was going through DMs just to check how long this has been cooking. I think I wrapped up my work at like tail end of 2023.
Yeah. This has been cooking for a long time. I'm gonna, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, Alex Rossetti did a bunch of official music, and yeah, they did one track for our soundtrack, which is one of the Volume 7 songs. It's kind of the general sort of walking around music. Very, yeah, unfortunately not here right now, but very cool to work with. It's just not really. Generally, I'm not super specific with like the vibe. It's like a vibes thing when it comes to working with the composers. Like, here's the kind of the feeling I'm looking for. Sometimes there's some sonic references, like some other songs or tonal references, but a lot of times it's just like, yeah, whatever, as long as you got kind of the capturing the feeling of it. I like to give the composers some room to sort of express themselves, and we in routes where the writers were not me, sometimes had some other feedback in terms of like what kind of feel are we going for with the music. But yeah, this is Periphery Neon. Starting to bleed into the next song a little bit.
The women go crazy for reverb piano.
So yeah, and so this soundtrack is roughly in order of when these appear in the game, with like a couple of sort of slightly out of order ones. But yeah, so next song is also from Volume 7. This is B. Quinn, who wrote a bunch of music for the game, actually. She also wrote...
Despite not being a Homestuck.
Despite not being a Homestuck. She wrote the Scratch theme from our first volume. She wrote the sort of like urgent theme from Volume 10, which we'll hear in a little bit. And she wrote this. Originally, Volume 7 didn't have a ton of different... I think it was only going to have like 1 or 2 songs. But like we ended up kind of settling on like character themes. So there's like the general all-around music. I think L-Word sometimes has like one of the things from Volume 5 playing. This is Zebra's theme, and we'll hear Chixie's in a second. So, yeah. Also, hi everyone. Hi new folks. We're listening to some music. Why are you playing music so loud? I don't know. Welcome everyone to our stream.
Yeah, the music actually is significantly louder than the speech. I can't hear our speech very clearly, but I can hear the music extremely clearly.
Okay, we should probably turn the music down a little. Actually, I should probably mess with OBS settings. Oh,
cops are gonna come. They're gonna knock on our door. We're gonna get a noise complaint.
I don't want the cops to show up. You will listen to loud music. I'm gonna put the music at like 50% volume. There we go. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna play this one is Bougie Bar Crawl. And our next, and I think the last song from Volume 7 is another sort of character theme one. This is one of the ones Anna wrote. It's the Chixies theme. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about this track.
Yeah, sure. All right, cool. Is my volume okay? Yeah. So, Chixie is a vocalist. It seemed like a crime not to have vocals in her track. But it's tricky to have vocals in a video game track because lyrics are really distracting. Lyrics are incredibly distracting. If I was to have written lyrics...
You're also writing for a song that'll be looped too, right?
Yeah.
Is the main thing?
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah, you hear it over and over and over again. So with this one, my approach was I wanted to use the voice as an instrument. I wanted to what I did was I chose some random patch on Logic, and that was my voice patch, and I wrote a vocal line, and then went in the booth and recorded a bunch of oohs instead of saying words. Another thing about this piece, it directly steals the melody from It Be Like That Sometime from Chixie's original theme, the do-do-do, twist and pull, breathe the terror of life on hell. Or at least the melody I took when I did the Chixie rap. How long ago was 2018? That was 7 years ago. When I did the Chixie rap 7 years ago. So it doesn't sound similar enough, instrumentation-wise, rhythm-wise, all of that, to be a direct ripoff of James Roach, but it is kind of a direct ripoff of James Roach.
It's a similar but legally distinct song.
That was the thing I noticed listening to the last one. I've been stuck in the Ace Attorney-like minds for so long, I forgot the sound profile that James Roach kind of established for Homestuck.
Yeah.
After the first game came out.
There's at least one James Roach song on this soundtrack too later on.
I can't wait to hear the horns. I love the horns.
Gotta love that.
Doesn't have that. It's more like
fuck.
More sort of haunting, like.
God damn it.
At least I don't think it does. We'll see. But yeah, so this is It Be Like That All the Time. Yeah, so those are the songs, the 3 songs that were written specifically for Volume 7. So now we're moving into Volume 8, which
that one gave me specific like vibes of C418's work on Wanderstop that came out recently. It vaguely gave me those vibes. It was very nice. This is my first time hearing a lot of these.
Just before we begin, I want to say sorry I couldn't stay for longer, but I have to go eat.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
So have a good night, everyone, and enjoy the stream.
I will have to mute at some point to work Feed Out too, but I will be back.
Have a happy 413.
Happy 413.
Happy 413.
But yeah, like so Volume 8, Volume 8 was interesting because like there isn't really like a specific like a gameplay gimmick. It's one of the volumes that's more straightforward, like visual novel style. But it has a couple of things as like kind of to set it apart. One is it's one of the longer volumes. 2, it's got a lot of diverging, like there's 2 very different paths through it. It has an absolutely ridiculous like secret bit with the fucking Teroy McClure Simpsons reference thing. And also it has a lot of music. It has like 5 tracks, I think, that kind of like each, because it's Amnesia and Torona, and they each have like a sort of, slow version and fast version, and there's like a combined version. And then we ended up reusing these like a ton. Artist block, I don't remember if we used, let me look at the list of tracks here. Come on, I know you can do this. Man. There we go. Yeah, so I think we used The World's a Canvas for one of the trailers. I think Depicted Detail, maybe. But yeah, Artist Block. This is the, I think the Amnesia slow track. So yeah.
James Roach's title stands out so much. I love it.
Oh, I pulled that. I have a story about that. We'll get to it. I have a story about the James Roach tracks in general because there's like a lot behind them. But yeah, we'll get to it when it's relevant. So yeah, Artist Block, also DBNet 18. All the Volume 8 stuff is DBNet 18. Actually, before we do this, so DBNet 18, actually a composer that I met through a friend, Momo, who also was a writer for this game, did actually a piece on the soundtrack of the first volume, and they are the creator of the Act 8 comic, and I think DBNet did some music for them, and I met DBNet like through them, and really like their music a lot. It's really cool. And so, yeah, they ended up writing a number of tracks for this soundtrack, actually. I think, like, 7 tracks? Something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, Artist Block. That is a very Hive Swap feeling.
Yeah,
track.
It's a distinctively Hive Swap flavor. Like, if you told me James Roach wrote that, I wouldn't be surprised.
In our Hive
I
Swap.
think what sells it is the bass that was used.
Yeah. Yeah, DDNet's music in general is very, like, at least what they wrote for our soundtrack is very Hive Swap flavored, which is, probably a good thing for our Hive Swap game. But, like, that's definitely the vibe in our soundtrack. So yeah, next song is the counterpart to the previous one. So this is like the slightly more up-tempo Amnesia song, and yeah, let's do this thing. This is called The World's a Canvas. These were very, very open-ended. I think the notes on these was basically like a little bit of Ace Attorney, kind of, sort of, vaguely reference that. Like, there wasn't really a lot of guidance in terms of, like, you must write this specific type of music. It was like, here's the vibe, here's the script, here's what the characters are like, kind of interpret as you will.
I finished all the mainline Ace Attorney games a few weeks ago, so I will be judging.
Excellent. Depict in Detail in particular, I think, feels very Ace Attorney-ish. Yeah, hi TV, welcome. We are not too far in. We're just we're a few tracks in and kind of poking along because I'm gonna say stuff about them all since my brain has a lot of information about this game. So yeah, here is The World's a Canvas. This is the faster Amnesia theme that we have for Volume 8. All right. So it occurs to me as I'm listening to this, there were some, like, these are very Hive Swap feeling tracks. There were some reference to, I can't remember if it was these songs or some of the others, but I did reference in a few cases, like, hey, here's some inspiration from the Hive Swap soundtrack. I know the Half Harley Mansion theme was referenced by one of these. I don't remember which one. Not, like, directly an homage, but, like, more vibes-wise, so...
I'm gonna post this in the stream voice chat. It reminded me of this song from the Dual Destinies OST a bit.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played Dual Destinies. I've actually only played the first Ace Attorney, but I've listened to some of the music. Yeah, so this next one is the first Torona theme, I believe. I believe this is the let me see what the names are. This is the slower, like, lower tempo one. I like Torona's music a lot. It's a quick one, but it's a very very fun track. So yeah, Torona in general was a lot of fun. I really like the way that our Volume 8 writer characterized her, and her VA did a really, really good job.
Tex is so good
at
Teal Bloods.
Our Torona VA, also our Stelsa VA, actually. They are a very talented voice actor. Done a lot of work with a bunch of us for many years, so...
I've been singing with Tex since we were 17.
Yeah. So yeah, very, very cool stuff. So yeah, Torona's like slower down-tempo theme is here. Small Headlines from Volume 8. Yeah, and coming up now, we've got this is the other theme associated with Torona, which is a much faster one. I can't remember if we use this in any trailers. I don't think so. I really like the Torona songs. They're a lot of fun. This one in particular, and the combined one, I like a lot. We use that. We reused the combined theme for some other like bits later on. Trying to remember where specifically. I think it was like the Volume 10 like confrontation with Astasia, maybe? A fantasy RPG with it. Ironic considering Volume 5 has a fantasy RPG section. So yeah, this is Newsflash, which is the second Torona theme from Volume 8. That was the song. The next song's starting to play.
The Badum?
The Badum, yeah. Unless someone... Oh, no, Uber joined.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
well. well. If it isn't Uber...
Hi.
Hello. Would you like to introduce yourself for our listening audience?
Yeah, of course. Hi. My name is Uber Deme. She, they. And I did oh man, what did I did for Friendsim 2? Like couple stuff.
You did a bunch of end cards.
Yes, I did a couple of end cards. I did like a couple of backgrounds. And
you have the voice actor role on your Discord.
You also yeah.
I was initially supposed to voice a character in Friendsim 2, but I found a better fit for that character, another voice actor. So I just kind of like, hey, I think you should do it, and I took on more of an art role throughout the game, and also I did one of the music.
I was gonna say you have a song on this soundtrack. You have one of the Technicolor Heart songs.
Yep. But yeah, I think that's that's pretty much it.
I wish I could have played the game before joining this stream. Right now I'm like, video game producer listens to TF2 soundtrack for the first time. That's like my headspace right now.
You're absolutely valid because, perhaps you're not the only person who hasn't played the game who's on the stream.
It is a decently long game if you play through it like normal reading pace, not just like blasting through it as fast as possible. It clocks in at like 35 hours.
We've got more playtime than, at the very least, Friendsim 1, but do we have more playtime than that plus Hive Swap Acts 1 and 2?
Well, we've played through the entire game like twice, so, because we had to do the streams for... Oh, you mean like the just raw playtime?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Ace Attorney section in Hive Swap Act 2 puts it way above Friendsim 2, I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
Everybody loved that. Everybody loved the Ace Attorney section.
A couple hours.
It depends on if you get caught in some of the extended dialogue.
It depends on if you brought all of the shit to save the girl. I don't remember her name. I don't remember who.
Daria is the one.
Yeah.
That gets a key. Or no, Linera. Linera gets a key.
Linera, yeah.
Yeah.
Fake fan.
Yeah. I know.
The fakest Queen of Homestuck ever.
Look, I don't have to like remember stuff.
You were on those live dub streams.
I was, and I'm also a producer for the third act.
Like, how could you not remember every second of that game when we did it on
I
live
remember
dubs for
it.
so long?
I just got them mixed up.
This is me with my...
I love Linera. That ironically, that was the thing that started me like really liking Linera. Like I felt so bad for everything that was happening, and I'm like, what's her deal? And now she's like one of my favorite characters. So.
And you used her as projection in Volume 6.
I sure did.
When you were hiding over me.
Every Homestuck writer does projection at some point, says the person with the self-insert comic.
Yeah. also Linera's VA, Autumn Ivy, very, very well-known cosplayer, voice actor, I guess fitness enthusiast.
Yeah, she's like a bodybuilder.
They're like built as fuck and do a lot of cosplay. They're really cool. And just applied out of nowhere to the voice thing. Like I didn't know them or like it asked them to do that. It's just like, okay, yeah, I want to apply for this character. Like, okay. Cool.
We went from having a very strict soprano requirement for Linera to being like, nope, it's oops all alto.
So they applied for they applied for
Charon.
And it was like, okay, not exactly what I'm looking for, but like would be perfect for Linera. Like sometimes it just clicks into place like that. I feel like we had another VA where they applied for something else and it's like, hey, this would be like, I think it was the Marcy VA.
No, the Marcy VA did Marcy.
Was for Marcy.
Yeah.
Okay. Or maybe it was, I don't know. I think there were a couple where it's like somebody
it was the handmaid. No. Remily. Right?
No, I don't remember.
I feel like one of the VAs that had a natural accent. We were like, hey, your
Remilly's the natural accent. It's not a fake French accent, but it's like whatever. It's who cares?
I'm hearing pronunciations of these names that I've never heard before. It's just crazy.
So next song on our soundtrack journey. This is Depicted Tale, which is the Volume 8 like combined Amnesia and Toruna theme. It plays near the end of the route when things are kind of like building to a head. This is the one I think that really feels like very Ace Attorney-ish. And it's a good ass song. So we're gonna listen to it now.
Taking notes.
Yeah, I like the SNES guitar too, and it reminds me of the Storm Eagle theme in Mega Man X specifically.
Yeah, this reminds me of like a sleeper hit from volumes 5 through 6.
So
in regards to Ace Attorney, it sounds like a down tempo version of Apollo's Pursuit theme. I like that a lot.
Yeah, just like take Mega Man X gameplay without audio and just like put this music over it. Like that's it's just perfect.
Yeah, exactly. it does fit. So now we're moving into another volume in the soundtrack. We are past the volume 8. These are the next 2 or 3 songs are all 4 songs. I forgot. There's a James Roach one in here.
Right.
The next 4 songs. The next 4 songs are all from volume 9. And this like there's a couple of interests. Volume 9 and 10 have like a little bit more of like a the inspiration shifts a little bit, because volume 9 is very much like both of them have a little bit of like a cyberpunk inspiration, and volume 9 is like very sort of like heist movie, and volume 10 is very like I don't know, more like computer hacker cyberpunk vibe. So like I was pulling, because I'm the writer for these 2 routes, and I pulled a lot of like inspiration from various like sort of like vaporwave, you know, that kind of stuff, but also like there's a couple tracks in here that reference like the Quake 2 soundtrack, not this one, but one of the later ones we'll hear.
Quake 2, that wasn't Trent Reznor. He didn't work on that one, right?
No, that was a I can't remember their name off the top of my head now, but there was like a specific band that did the Quake 2 soundtrack. I actually reached out to them.
Really?
Yes, but they didn't respond.
Oh, unfortunate. Unlucky.
Because like one thing I've learned doing this game is that sometimes, a lot of times, if you reach out to some random person, they just don't respond to you, or they come back and they're like, yes, my rate is $1,000, and you're like, okay, cool. Like I reached out to the VA that did Caleb from Blood to do one of the. I'm like, hey.
Stephen Waite, yeah.
And he's like, he was a very nice, very cool guy to talk to. We emailed back and forth a bit, and then he's like, yes, to do this voice acting would be like $500, and it's like, okay, I can't afford that.
What were you trying to get?
For Stephen Waite though, that's kind of reasonable. I would have stooped the price for Stephen Waite.
I think it was, I want to say Fozer maybe.
Huh.
I think. I can't remember. This was a while ago. I'd have to go back through my email. VA.
I would pay
Wales. I would love to just. I'm gonna reach out to Trent Reznor.
I would pay $1,000 to get Stephen Waite on my game personally.
He does. He takes voice commissions. If you go through his he and his agent were both very lovely people. Cannot recommend highly enough. Just was a little outside of my budget, but yeah. So like the group that did the Quake 2 music did not respond to me, but I did use that as kind of one of the inspirations for one of these tracks. So this first one is the this one is done by Rainy. Rainy, who's done music for I think Snowbound Blood. I think they've done work for Vast Error. I want to say.
I mean, aren't those two basically?
I mean, like the Vast Error comic, not just Snowbound Blood. And some other stuff, I think. Outside of our budget, but worth the price. Exactly. But this one is the kind of general Volume 9 theme. This plays in the sort of just regular moments where nothing is completely falling apart. Kind of a very sort of, you know, cyberpunk-y, like, background music kind of thing. So yeah, it's a nice little solid song. It loops really well, which is nice. This is Rebel Radio by Rainy. Yeah, I really like that song, and it's good that I like it because Volume 9, there were a couple bits where I was like doing a lot of testing to get some things working, and that one I heard a lot on repeat. It's nice to have music you like when you're going through and playing a route again and again and again.
Oh yeah, it's a very good song. I can definitely feel like the synth punk, like the cyberpunk kind of like vibe to it, you know?
Yeah, it's got like
it's like very like 80s synthwave.
I was gonna say it's got a synthwave feel to it. The later one, the other Rainy song is very like the Quake 2 and also Carpenter Brute as well. We'll hear it in a second. But yeah, so this next one wasn't originally gonna be in the soundtrack. It was like, well, the scene that plays this song originally was just gonna be like the regular music. But then I was talking with Anna, I think, about this and was like, this needs to have like its own music, and it's like a 2-part song. So it's like got this beginning part that's designed to be looped, and then it when the scene, like, this is the scene where Palipa and Tigiri are going to like buy weapons, and everything goes to shit, and there's like a gunfight. And so I wanted something that would be like kind of ominous in the beginning, and then like there's a bit where it kind of kicks into gear, and it's more sort of like high energy. And I don't remember. Do we have any reference for this?
I don't remember what you sent me.
I think I did send you something.
But I did write it like a film score.
Yeah.
I do remember that much. What I did was, so when I do game scores, I am going to pull this closer to me.
Yeah, do that.
We really need to add Fmod support for Ren'Py.
They might have it by now.
Like, when I do game scores, I write with the purpose of it looping. I write, like, it's usually an ABA form or maybe a rondo form, something where the beginning is very similar to the end. It's written with the purpose of looping. With this one, Janaya sent me a screen recording of some gameplay of this scene, and I scored it to that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this is not on purpose, because I didn't give you this as a like a Sonic reference, but to me it sounds like old school Doom music.
Huh.
Like when anyone that's played the original like 93 Doom, especially through like a nice like MIDI patch collection, like you'll hear what I mean when it plays.
I played it in middle school on our school laptop, so, like on the browser version of DOS.
That means a lot to me, because I love old school Doom. I have a bit of a history with that game, so like it's got sort of that vibe going on. This is the continuous version of the song, so you'll hear kind of where it sort of breaks. In the game, it's split up into 2 pieces, but.
And fun fact, Janaya didn't pay me with money for this one. She paid me in buying me a Beetlejuice ticket.
I paid you, and yes, I bought tickets to a musical that was the equivalent of paying you.
Yeah.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
We had to see Beetlejuice before it closed.
It was very fun. So yeah, this is I don't remember the story behind the name. I think, was it like, we're gonna make a fake acronym and we're just gonna think of something to go with it?
Yeah, I'm really bad at naming songs. I'm so I like fall under the James Roach school of naming pieces.
Like, naming the songs is my favorite part.
Like, I do not like naming songs. It is so hard. I am a musical theater composer. The names of the songs come from the fucking lyrics. But you know, obviously no lyrics. The really funny thing about this title. So I'm a piano teacher. I teach you know, elementary aged kids piano and voice and stuff.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It is totally fine. Most of the time. But you know, occasionally it'll come up that I've written scores for video games, and the kids get, you know, excited and they want to hear my video game music. So I pull up my album of game music, which is basically everything I did for Friendsim 2 plus a couple other things, called Gamer Girl Floodwater. Actually, Uber did the art for Gamer Girl Floodwater.
Yes, I did, and I also use some of the tracks in my games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the thing with that album, feel free to use whatever the fuck you want. It is like, I didn't make it Creative Commons, like, officially, but it's fucking Creative Commons. Yeah, I'll show them my album, and, you know, I'll play something, and all of them, their little eyes that have spent so much time on TikTok immediately drive to Getting Unalived now. What's Getting Unalived now? So I've played this song for a number of, like, 8-year-olds.
Yeah. Yeah, this is GUN, Getting Unalived Now, by Anna Marcus, who's right here. So.
GUN, these are the people that killed Maria, right?
Right, exactly. No relation to the Sonic thing, but yeah, this is a fun one. Yeah, I love the guitar appeal bit.
It gives like Sign of Evil.
Yeah. It's good stuff. I really, this song, it tends to get overshadowed by the fact that there's like gunfire in the scene as well. Like, it's a fairly noisy scene. So yeah, you can listen to it if you play the Technicolor Heart section, because there's that whole like sound test thing within Sarava's stream. But yeah, or you could just listen to it on a soundtrack now.
Yeah. Funk, you're in the Discord. Get in here, Funk. You're in the Discord. Come on.
Yeah. Joseph, why aren't you? We're gonna look at some of your music.
Join us.
No pressure. Oh shit.
Let's go.
Hey, it's Jojo.
Let's go.
What you doing?
Hello.
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 Hi.
Oh.
Hello.
Hi.
Jojo, everyone.
Hey guys, it's Funk McLovin.
Hey, what's going
help.
on?
Holy shit.
Trapped in the wired.
Yeah, we're gonna so this next song is a there's a story behind the whole James Roach stuff in this game, and I'm gonna tell it now.
You need to stretch the window so we can see the whole title.
I'm not gonna, because it'll mess up the formatting. Actually, wait, no, it won't. I can just fucking do that. It is. How's that gonna look on OBS? Bad.
Perfect comedic reveal.
Incredible.
So yeah, this song
awesome.
is Don't Tell Anybody. I wrote this for a Homestuck fan game for money. So this song is so a thing about James. Now, when I commissioned this originally, I didn't I know James better than I did. We worked together on a couple things, and like I've talked to James a lot more since. But one of the things I learned about him is that he does not like naming songs. And so several of the songs in here, it's like, hey, do you have a title for this? And it's like, yeah, whatever, you just name it, whatever you want. And so I did that with several of these. But this one, he ended up putting it on his SoundCloud, and this is what he titled it on the SoundCloud. So I took that title for this because I thought it was funny. And the other part of the story behind this is these go back to a game that I was working on a while ago called New Game Plus. It has since been canceled-ish. I don't have any involvement with it anymore, but it was a Homestuck like fan game. And I had this project where I was doing like my own little sub route that had its own story, and like I was doing a bunch of experimental stuff in RenPy that kind of like led to some of the stuff in Friendsim too, technology wise. And I wanted to just like do a couple of crazy things for it. One of them was getting a particular artist who she's done a lot of work on the sprites here. That's Riot Breaker, whose art I really like. And the other thing was I was like, James had opened up commissions, and I was like, well, what the fuck? I'll commission James to do a few songs. So James actually wrote these originally for a like a Radia sort of like it was like an adventure game section set on a cargo ship in like a different version of Earthsea, where some weird shit happens. But I sort of like fit them into this where they felt appropriate. So this one is the one that plays like after everything goes wrong and the weapon seal goes bad and you're back at the hideout, and it's the kind of mournful theme that's playing. Where it was in the original context, I think it was like in a similar emotional context. I think this played after like a bunch of shit had happened. So yeah, this is one of the James Roach contributions. I think there's 2 of his songs on here. This is Don't Tell Anybody I Wrote This for a Homestuck fan game for money from volume 9. And this next one is the last. This is the last volume 9 track, I believe. Yeah, it is. So this one is. This is like the high energy. to broach the topic. Oh my god.
I was able to on the topic of James Ritchie's, I was able to get the original, like the Grubbles vocal synth for a remix. I was able to get a recreation of that.
Nice.
I had the WAV file for the kick he uses in like every song, but I wasn't able to find it. I wanted to find it before the song ended.
This is so this song is the sort of like action song from Volume 9 where they're trying to like break into the Imperial facility. So something very high energy. There were two main references. One was one of the songs from Quake, or a couple of songs from Quake 2, and the other is a Carpenter Brute. I can't remember the name of the song off the top of my head. But like I had that song as a placeholder when I was doing like testing and stuff, and I had uploaded it to YouTube, and YouTube copyright flagged it and was like muted it, I think, and it's like, okay, cool. It wasn't even a public video. It was like unlisted or private. I was just trying to get I was like demoing it to the team, but so yeah, this is another rainy song. This one was composed a little bit later than the first one, so a little time had elapsed. A little different vibe to it. This is Dire Straits from Volume 9. Come on. There we go.
I like it when the guitar screams and hits the high note and tickles my eardrums.
Yeah, I like that one, and I think the if you listen to the Quake 2 soundtrack, I think you'll be able to pick out the song or two that I used as a reference. Like, it's definitely got that feel to it.
The guitar sounded a lot like shreddage. I love shreddage.
Yeah,
the instrument.
The first, what is it? The first level in Quake 2. I think that's where the song that I was referencing came from. So now we're into that's wrong. We're into volume 10. This I don't know why this is still wrong. My brain for some reason transposed Split Sun's name into Splitting Suns, and it got like incorrectly labeled in a couple places, including here. So this is wrong. This is an older MP3 that wasn't fixed. This is Split Suns, who has done a bunch of music for Vast Terror and Snowbound Blood. That's actually where I found their music and was like, hey, this is cool. Can you make something sort of similar-ish? This is volume 10. So another very sort of cyberpunk. This one in particular is very like original Deus Ex in how it feels to me. And yeah, it's a good song. I like the volume too. You know, it's a very free form. You can kind of roam around and do a bunch of different things. So I had fun writing it. It was kind of it's kind of a challenge to write just because it's sort of non-linear. But yeah, this is Overloaded by Split Suns, not Splitting Suns. Name is correct in the credits and on the Bandcamp, but not on the MP3 that I've currently loaded. So yeah, this is a good one. I like this one a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of Deus Ex reference here. Also, to answer a question, one of our people here asked in chat, the Xbox 360 era Deus Ex games, like what's it, Mankind Divided and Human Revolution, are good. They're not like the original Deus Ex at all, but they're good. They're good games. Unlike Invisible War, which is a pile of trash.
all I know is the funny man says, "I never asked for this."
Yeah, Deus Ex, the original, very good, with some very questionable voice acting in it.
Oh my god, JC, a bomb!
Very questionable, verging into racist territory in a few cases. But yeah, Invisible War, absolutely horrible. Just garbage game with a lot of the problems of the, like, whatever Unreal 2 or 3 engine where everything was like tiny little stages with a ton of loading screens. And yeah, Mankind Divided and Human Revolution, actually quite good.
So, how do you make a sequel to Deus Ex when that game has like 3 entirely different, equally insane endings?
You kind of like imply that they all happen simultaneously somehow.
The Warp in the West.
That kind of rules though, I don't know.
And then what you do for the next game to account for the fact that there's like 4 endings in Invisible War, all of which are bad.
You make it a prequel. You just make it a prequel.
Yeah, you just like reboot it.
You reboot it, but the technology is somehow more advanced.
Exactly.
Than the future.
I just pretend that they're completely separate continuities. Yeah, Invisible War is terrible. The only thing really positive that ever came out of that game is so I played it when it first came out, and I was like, this is not very fun. But there was one moment where, like, you hear the term emergent gameplay a lot, but there was a guy in an alleyway near like a barrel, like a burning barrel, and the character like bumped into the barrel and caught on fire and was running around screaming and died, which is not supposed to happen. I was like, damn, the physics, it happened like in real life. But other than that, the game was just absolutely terrible. So yeah, all the endings happen simultaneously. It's like, what if the Illuminati ending, but also the everything got shut down, but also there was like what was the other one, like the tech plague or some nonsense, and it like happened at the same time. It's like everything happened all at once somehow, and the world is just horrible, and also the game is pretty horrible too. So
there were just 3 JC Dens running around. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah,
don't worry about it.
That would have been a more interesting game. Also, JC is a hive mind. Yes, that was the other thing. Yeah, it wasn't great, and gameplay wise, it was like very not good. So, yeah, this next one, this is another one of B's songs. This one is this one is the song that plays when you're escaping from the about to explode / incinerate you ship section in Volume 10. So like once you confront Azdaja and you go through and you got to run out. Deus Ex discussion, exactly. So yeah, this is called Inferno. This is the I think the last volume. This is the last Volume 10 song, and then we go on to Volume 11 and then JoJo's clown songs, which are a lot of fun.
Ooh, the clown songs.
I love clowns. Marry me, chocolate.
Denton. So clowns soon, but now yeah, this is called Inferno from Volume 10. Yeah, that one I'm trying to remember what the reference for it was. I know there was a lot of like sort of chiptune like video game like traditional game soundtrack elements to it. I think that one was pretty like that was a very like open-ended collaboration with the composer. So I have to look back at my DMs. But yeah, that's the also very synthwave. Yeah, a lot of the Volume 910 stuff is very like synthwave inspired. Because of that, that's where you're like solidly on Alternia and also solidly doing like cyberpunk stuff. Because Volume 8, you're just kind of like chilling with Uzdaja and Torona, and Volume 7, you're you know unraveling this whole like thing with Zebra. But Volume 9 and 10, you're like that's where shit really starts to hit the fan.
I'm just a big fan of slide notes.
Yeah. So this is now we're into volume 11, which is like the game takes another kind of like it dips down and is less like intense for a little bit. So now you're on the Spirulita, which is the ship that has the Purple Bloods on it, but also other people. And you're in volume 11. You're down in this sort of like body disposal department, and you meet Fazer, Charon, and Demon, and they're all kind of like they're a little like they don't remember you as well as the other people, and they've kind of got their own stuff going on. But Demon and Fazer have their own themes. Sharon does not. But this is Sad Communist Extravaganza, which is the Fazer theme. Anna wrote this.
Yes,
Would you like to talk a little bit about it?
So it is just straight up an arrangement of the Internationale.
Yes.
Yeah.
that's the story.
It's like, okay, Fazer has, after he had his brain wiped by Scratch, just found his way back to communism because that's just the logical thing.
Yeah, he's like very heavily like we call it communalism because we felt like making it different because Alternia, but it's basically it's like Marxist Leninist communism, very much like centralized communism. So yeah,
but because it's Fazer and his whole thing is also death and spookiness.
Yeah.
I took the Internationale and made it spooky. And this is actually my most popular song on Gamer Girl Floodwater.
Communalism is also just its own thing. Yeah, it is. not in Alternia though.
There's a name for everything.
There is, yeah. Any similar name is probably a thing, but so this is Fazer's theme, Sad Communist Extravaganza, from volume 11 of the game. now our other unique song for Volume 11. This is the Demon theme, and Demon's an interesting character in Friendsim too, because one of the characters that's like changed a lot. Like when you meet him in the original Friendsim, he's like not doing great. And also like you know he's going through a sort of a stressful time, having just had his his hive is burned down.
His hive's burned down. His dad died.
Lucis is dead. So you know he's going through it, and he's kind of a bit character with the hot dog thing. But you know he's going through
every game should have a demon theme, I think.
So, when you meet him on the Spirulina, he's like the guy who like helps prep the bodies and check to make sure they're not zombies. And we did like a whole Papers, Please style minigame where you have to like do different things to figure out if the body is like a certain type of thing and all that. Yeah, so this one is Rusty's Refrain. Also, hello, person who joined, whose name I can't see because it's on streamer mode.
Hello, it's me.
Oh, it's CL.
Hello,
awesome.
hello.
Hello. Introduction.
Yeah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm CL. I played Malik and Gallic. Very, very alliterative.
I just realized that.
You didn't realize that before?
I probably made that connection at some point and then forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like Mario and Luigi, those two.
Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in and say hello because yeah.
Yeah, so we're on this is the demon theme. It's very like I guess industrial like folk music sounding.
It's supposed to be. It's a call and response work song.
Yeah.
There's one melody that do 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 do, and then so it's. I wrote it with like imagining each instrument was a different person, like working away to the sound of this anvil in the background. The anvil is a combination of an actual like anvil sound I stole from some sound library, and like the anvil patch from I believe the Storm Drum 3 plugin on East West. So it's two anvil sounds layered to make it sound more like round.
Very cool.
And so yeah, my thought was, okay, these instruments are different workers. So you have one person cry out do 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 do, and then all the other workers cry out do 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 do. It's very call and response, very the industrial version of a song that one might sing working in the fields.
Yeah. It's a good song, and I really like how it fits in. It's used a lot in the sections we were doing the Papers, Please style game, and I think it fits really well for that. So yeah, this is Rusty's Refrain, also from Volume 11. as someone in the chat points out, this was also the song that plays during the Eradia minigame in Technicolor Heart, where Miss Parr gets like shit thrown at them, and you have to catch it. So the next 4 songs, I'm gonna play them all, and I play these 4 as like a block, because they're all kind of related. Like a lot of the songs in the soundtrack were done by different people, even on the same volume, or they were done in very different times, like with a lot of time separation between them, a lot of thematic separation between them. These 4 songs are actually very closely linked together. So these are the 4 like clown songs. These are the songs that play during the bulk of Volume 12. There's 2 versions of each of them. There's the one that's like the one in the real world version of the clown like ship, and then there's the version like the Dreamscape version. And JoJo here wrote these, so I think they could maybe, if they want to talk a little bit about the kind of process behind these or any fun facts about them.
What is a clown? A miserable pile of jokes? A happy mask on a crying soul? Joy and whimsy wrapped in kindness and face paint? A clown is as they are made. They are the challenges they circumvent, and they are the quiet, absurd dignity in silliness. So please enjoy the sublime absurdity of the jester, the mime, in short, the clown.
They could also be a hot
Thank
woman.
You.
Jojo, I need to mention something.
Excellent.
Yeah?
So when we were, it was a year ago today, actually, when we were streaming our Volume 12 thing, you know, of course the clown music was in the background and everything. My sister jumped in to watch the stream, and my sister loves clowns. She fucking loves clowns. She has this clown shrine.
Who
ever...
among us
Who doesn't like clowns
here?
Like
you would enjoy my sister's clown shrine.
I would love nothing more.
Messaged me immediately and was like, "Oh my god, who wrote the clown music? This is the most brilliant thing I've ever heard." You have made a clown lover very happy.
It's very good.
That's good.
If you could see from the titles now on the screen, the titles are all variations of Insane Clown Posse, like they're puns on that.
I forgot I did that.
Mad Harlequin Gang and Perturbed Jester Cadre. I don't remember. I don't remember if I provided any reference or if I was just like kind of go nuts with it. I might have given some slight guidance for vibes, but I don't remember now. I think it was very much like, hey, have fun with this.
Good stuff.
It's good stuff. I like them, all these songs.
I remember heavily relying on samples instead of traditional sort of instrumentation. I'm not gonna lie though, I don't fucking remember writing these, so excellent. I'm gonna rediscover them now.
Many such cases.
See if I can remember what the fuck I was thinking when I wrote these.
It's been a little while.
I forgot most of what I drew. I forgot most of my end cards. I forgot how one of the ones I drew from L-Word. I'm so mad because that's the only one where I give the characters ears, and I'm so mad. It's inconsistent.
Continuity error.
Fuck.
I'm gonna CinemaSins ding you.
No.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's so over for me.
This is the next 4 songs are Mad Harlequin Gang and Perturbed Jester Cadre and the Dream variants of them. Yeah, so we'll play these, and then these are all from Volume 12. They play throughout the route. The Mad Harlequin Gang is the one that plays when you're outside the mansion, and then when you're inside the mansion, it's the Perturbed Jester Cadre, I believe, is how it works. So that's another volume where you're doing a lot of like poking around and moving from area to area and exploring. So the music had to kind of accommodate this some more sort of free-form environment, and also to give it a little variety without it feeling boring, because it's a decently long route and you're spending a lot of time sort of poking around. So we wanted to have some switch up with the music when you go back and forth between the Dreamscape world, which you do pretty frequently. So you don't just listen to the same song for an hour at once. Yeah, let's start with Mad Harlequin Gang, and we'll play these 4 next songs. So those are the majority of the songs that play during the clown round. But there's one other.
I love clouds. I love clowns.
Excellent. Let me find. I gotta find something here before I.
Mind if I say my notes on these songs?
Yes, please tell us your notes. That would be awesome.
So on all the tracks, I used a quote from the song "Enter the Gladiators" or "The Grand March Chromatique," which is by Jules Fuchik. I think that's how you say it. Julius Fuchik.
Yeah,
why did I get the
that
first
guy's
name
rolling in his
wrong?
grave. Not because you did it wrong, but because everybody turned his song into a clown song.
Yes, I think that's hilarious that the clown song was originally about gladiators.
Yeah.
The instruments I used were e-piano, which was built into my piano, and a harpsichord patch. I wanted to make everything feel like a gross, dirty apartment, because that's kind of what I associate with the clowns of Homestuck.
Mm-hmm.
I used the Spurb theme, the ba 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 ba. I don't know why. I just kind of do that. I like that quote. It's very easy to slot into things. And then I use the main motif in on all of the songs. It uses the minor blues scale. That's kind of my signature. And then on on Mad Harlequin Gang 2, the drums are an ICP drum sample. I used the Isotope Trash plugin to get it to kind of be grindy and unrecognizable. So thanks ICP for that. On Perturbed Jester, I used another effect from Isotope called Isotope Vinyl. It's kind of a stereotypical vinylizer. It sounds pretty good to me. Make it sound crusty. And then obviously the honks were the classic honks that we all know and love.
Yeah.
And my process for making these was just kind of throwing shit into the song and trying to get it to be not so cluttered.
It's a good combination. I like them, and they fit together nicely. Like, because the two like paired ones have to kind of feel not the same, because that would get monotonous, but like they have to feel coherent together. And I think it does a good job of like they feel different, but also they feel like they are related to each other. So when you swap back and forth, because you could switch between Dreamscape and regular world pretty much at will for most of the route. So yeah, having the ability to fade from one to the other is good.
Oh yeah. Hey Janaya, have you ever seen the clown that only performs for smart people?
Oh yeah, all the time.
All right.
He's like right over in the corner right now.
He's over. Yeah, he's with us.
He's just chilling. I mean, he's really entertaining.
He's in the room with us right now. It's just he's always out of your field of vision.
Exactly.
The clown that only performs for smart people. You mean
our cats?
Our
cat?
He says, ha, ew, boy, I love Friendsim too.
Thank you, Alan Tudyk.
Thanks, yeah.
Mo Ace Attorney.
So we got one other song that plays.
I love it. I'm over the moon. Thanks a lot, Studio June.
Oh my god.
I was
gonna say, what is this?
Fucking King Candy in chat.
So there's one other song that plays during the main part of Volume 12, and that's when you go into Marvis's like caravan. And so I was looking for a song that would be a different song that to kind of set that apart, because Marvis has this kind of unique relationship to like the dreamscape and the narrative in general in the games, and especially in Volume 12. So I wanted to set his like environment apart, because there's no dreamscape version of the caravan interior. It's like once you go in, you get pulled out of the dream immediately. So I wanted it to sound different, but also like I didn't have another song to use when I decided to do this. So what I ended up doing was we did this like Marvis like in-universe diegetic like album a couple years ago, and we had two songs on it: Toxic Love and the other one.
Fuck, I wrote that one.
Yeah, I know. Let me look up.
Welcome to the Carnival.
Maybe? I don't remember the name of it. I'm gonna look it up on our Bandcamp. Welcome to the Dark Carnival. That was it. So like what I did here was I actually got, so these are by Fred Parolo. Well, Fred Parolo did this one and like some of the stuff on the Welcome to the Dark Carnival, right?
Yeah.
It was like y'all collaborated in some variation. But what I did was I asked him for the stems for Toxic Love, pulled them into Audition and like, or was it Audition or FL Studio? I can't remember which. And just kind of like messed around with it until it sounded like different. So I basically did like a really hacky remix of it until it sounded good. And it's a very sort of like chill vibes version of Toxic Love with no lyrics because that would be extremely distracting over voice acting. So yeah, this is Mildly Toxic Love, a remix by me of the song by Fred Parolo from Volume 12. All right. Now, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6-ish. All the Can Comrade one is its own story, so we'll talk to that one. So the next 5 songs, or 6 songs, are a little interesting because they are all like, so we did this thing in the middle of Volume 12 where suddenly the game becomes a different game for a while.
I just want to say real quick, thank you for making the album art different in the metadata.
Yes. Yes, this is the Technicolor Heart original soundtrack.
I love MP3 tag.
So yeah, so the so Technicolor Heart is like a game within a game. It's a fully fleshed out visual novel. There's actually a lot of it that you don't like when you go into Volume 12. You basically get pulled into this like college AU visual novel where something seems off and you have to figure out like what's going on and get out of it. If you play it through the main menu, it's just like a game within a game. Like it has its own plot line. It has a bunch of different like sub stories. There's a whole murder mystery, Twin Peaks supernatural plot going on. So Technicolor Heart is a lot. It's ridiculous. I reused a lot of assets from the game, from backgrounds I did for New Game Plus. I did all the writing. There's no voice acting, so I didn't have to worry about that, and reused a lot of music. But I also asked the team members if they had any like old songs that they were willing to donate to the cause for very small amounts of money / like meals.
Yeah, you got me.
I think in Anna's case,
You put them a pittance.
The amount of Thai food that you still buy me every week, so I kind of, it was more of
The serfs get paid in gruel.
Yeah. So we have a couple of songs by Anna. We have Mine Honey Pop and the Beach episode. We have a song by Uber, the Beach, Ma, Time Between Each Clap. A song by our Sarava VA called Never Lost Always Found, and the one by JoJo, which is called Refreshing Daily Nichiju Editor's Note. Nichiju means ordinary life.mp3. So I don't know if y'all.
Helvetica standard.
If you want to talk briefly about your, I'm gonna play these all just in a block because they're all. Oh, and the Technicolor Tetris, which is I found an arrangement that someone had done. The song in Tetris is a public domain song. I found a Creative Commons arrangement of it, and I did a remix of the Creative Commons arrangement of the song. That's what plays when you play Tetris. So I don't know, Anna. Do you want to talk about your two tracks here?
Yeah, the first one is actually from a idea for a musical that didn't happen. Mm-hmm. So when I was in grad school, for our thesis musicals, we had to pitch 2 musical ideas, and this was from the musical idea that we didn't end up making. So Janaya named the song.
Yes.
But originally, so the melodic line is supposed to be vocals, and originally it was about a song. Originally it was a song about a sentient mushroom that wanted to be human. That's all you need to know about this one.
And the beach episode, we're gonna do all of these in a block. So the beach episode, what's that one about?
That one, so that actually was a song made for a beach theme for a game. Mm-hmm. So back in like 2019, late 2019, I started working on this little game where I was supposed to write like 6 tracks for like $400, and I never got paid for it because the person making the game lost interest once the pandemic hit. And so I have all these tracks that I never got paid for. Actually, some of them are also earlier in the game. Baggage in Volume 5, that's from this game. And yeah, this is the other one. It was supposed to be like a beach theme. It sounds very like, you know, kind of like Little Mermaid Under the Sea-esque.
Yeah.
It's what you expect. But yeah, I finally got to use this song that I never got paid for.
It's basically like becomes like the town theme. Uber, do you want to talk briefly about Ma time between each clap?
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess like in hindsight, I kind of consider the title that I gave for that music track a bit cringe. But at the time I thought it was appropriate because like as you mentioned, Janai, like you were asking folks around like hey, do you have any like other like music lying around? And like at the time I was just kind of like trying to practice like just composing music in general. Like I am definitely more of a visual artist, so like I draw a lot, and like the music, like composing music and just like all that, it is not it wasn't a familiar field for me. So like I wanted to get better at that, so I was just kind of practicing like making music, like all kinds of stuff. And that was one of the tracks that like I was just kind of playing around with like layering chords and all that stuff. And it turned out like, oh wait, I kind of like this. Kind of sounds like something that you would hear from a Ghibli movie. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I kind of had it in the back pocket for a while. And when Janaya asked like, hey, here you go, have fun. And like in terms of like the title, it was like I think it was like specifically Spirited Away, the train scene. Is very calm, is like very quiet, and like has a bit of a that calm moment in all the chaos and like the ruckus and whatnot in the movie. And I think Miyazaki kind of depicted that as like time between each clap, like that silence between each clap. And that's called Ma. So I was like, I guess that kind of fits in, right? So I just kind of like, hey, here you go, here's the title. Okay.
To be fair, I feel like, so this is a joke game within a game that in the context of the game is like a break of unreality for Mispar, and it's based on like a parody of a standard like college video, romance visual novel, but also with like a dark undercurrent to it. So like I feel like there is no amount of cringe that wouldn't be appropriate for the setting. Like
it's my favorite. I love coffee shop AUs. Let's go.
It's so ridiculous.
One of these days,
I love AUs when nothing happens.
The rest of Technicolor Heart.
Oh yeah.
We've only done like 3 of the routes.
We did like half, not even half of it, I don't think.
No, we did a couple during the actual official stream, and then we did like one other. That was when I lived at my old place. We were trying to cram both of us on my bed while trying to do it, so that sucked.
I think you could call Technicolor Heart is the moment between claps for Friendsim 2.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like you do all these like crazy trolls and like revolution and all that stuff. It's like, no, let's go dating.
Yeah. And to be clear, because this question has come up by a couple people, and I've mentioned this before, but in the world of Technicolor Heart, everyone is a human. Like, they look like trolls, but they're actually people now.
Trixie is from Brooklyn.
Like, there's references to real life. There's a joke about Gatlinburg that will make sense to, like, me and 5 other people. Yeah, and so Alex Hayton, our Sarava VA, they are not here right now. I believe that was like one of the first songs that they made, or something like that. This was an opportunity to be like, hey, are you not like a super experienced composer and you just want to do something fun that isn't being taken too seriously? Here's an opportunity. And JoJo is here if they want to talk about refreshing daily, etc., etc., etc.
Yes, of course. My world famous song. Refreshing daily Nichijou. Editor's note: Nichijou means ordinary life. That MP3.
I copied one thing and one thing only. I did a style study of the game Katawa Shoujo, which in Japanese means crippled women, which is a game about you're at a high school and it's like a dating sim, but you're at a high school for disabilities.
Wow.
And it was made by a bunch of people on 4chan. And if that sounds horrible, it's not, actually. It's one of the most heartfelt games I've ever played in my life. And you should play it as well, even though it sounds completely idiotic and stupid.
It does sound horrible.
Listen, I didn't sell it very well. There's a character in the game... I don't know if you can hear my cat. She's really pissed off at me.
Cute.
One of the real products of 4chan as a forum and not 4chan as a political cesspool.
It's I mean, just check it out if you want. Katawa Shoujo. I also copied a little bit of fucking what the hell was that? What was the visual novel where they all like killed each other?
Danganronpa?
Corpse Party?
No, fucking...
Not Corpse Party? No, Corpse Party was an RPG.
Book club. Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah, Doki Doki, yeah.
Yeah.
I never played it. I listened to some of the music, and I found that string sample.
Okay.
That. You're going to know it. You don't know where you've heard it from, but you know you've heard that
I know
string
what
sample.
you're talking about.
Also, Scotty, yes, Gatlinburg, like Tennessee. All of the characters in Technicolor Heart are not their Friendsim troll. They're not Friendsim trolls. They're humans that are depicted in the game only as trolls because we didn't have new art assets, except for the one human who's actually a sprite from New Game Plus. Hence why she's a human. And all of them are like actual backstories with references to real life. So Sarava's from Tennessee. And makes a joke about funny. Gatlinburg being a shitty place because it is a shitty place.
It's very funny that Sarava's from Tennessee when we did intentionally make Sarava British.
The British accent. Yeah, because...
I did go to... I think it was either Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge that I went on vacation to once.
I've been there. My mom used to live there. And so, not in Gatlinburg, but in Knoxville. So I visited a lot, and like there's a very specific, a very unpleasant vibe to Gatlinburg as a whole. It's very touristy in
They have Ripley's Believe It or Not, though. I love that. I love that place.
Okay, that's fair. We have that in New York City too.
Damn.
I have been to
Wonderworks was Pigeon Forge. I don't think they have Wonderworks in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, Wonderworks was Pigeon Forge. Also the Titanic Museum, which I have been to.
Yes.
That was actually pretty interesting.
I was such a Titanic kid.
Touristy, yeah. So yeah, now we're gonna play a selection of songs from the hit visual novel Technicolor Heart, and then I'm gonna stop before the Can Comrade one because there's a slightly different story to that. So yeah, let's listen to some anime now. Yeah, so that Tetris song is actually a public domain, like, Soviet song. And I just found an arrangement of it that was like, Creative Commons.
No, people in chat are thinking my comments are real. No, I'm joking.
That is not a licensed song. It is a
shit posting in chat. People are taking me seriously. Autism nightmare.
The arrangement was done by Merligen 1998. Who provided like stems and stuff, and then I just fucked around with the instrumentation and like played around with synthesizer shit. So,
did you guys know that in feudal Japan, merchants would make change for gold by cutting them into quarters, but if they tried to shortchange them, they would cut the merchant in half on each axis. That's where you get the popular phrase, "If you shortchange me, I will cut you in half on each axis."
Oh yeah,
always doing this to people, by the way.
I know that phrase. I've heard people are always saying that.
Bye.
This happened to my buddy Eric.
What a great send off for JoJo.
Yeah. This next one. So this is also, this song actually first appears in the Technicolor Heart section if you play one of the mini games. I don't remember which one. But it was originally composed for a completely different mini-game Easter egg. So in Volume 14, when you're playing around in the crawl space and you're like, there's all this crap associated there, and you can like look at it, and Boldir tells you about it. And if you click on the television, she'll ask if like you get the option of playing the game. And you can play a mini game it's the first Renpai mini game I ever made. It was for the Aradia section of New Game Plus, and I made an arcade game within that game, which is just like a little experiment with like doing a mini game within Renpai, where it's like, the mayor runs back and forth, and you have to use the cursor to like keep these cans from hitting the mayor. So yeah, this is the music that plays during that section. I just needed something that wasn't, in New Game Plus, it was just the Homestuck song that I'd, like, ripped off, and I wanted to have this all be original music, so yeah,
the mayor is the best character, by the way.
Exactly. So yeah,
there's no discourse about this.
You can play this, like, Can Comrade, yeah, the one time the thing is, you need to keep the cans from hitting him because they're gonna hurt him. They're falling too quickly. So yeah, that's the there was originally two versions of that mini game. The one originally in New Game Plus was like the arcade version, which had like slightly better looking graphics, and then I made like an 8-bit or like an 8-bit like deconstructed version that has like worse graphics and sound. That was originally going to be in the Roxy route of New Game Plus as another Easter egg. So now it's in here as a third Easter egg. So yeah, this is Can Comrade 1983 Home Edition. Why 1983? Because it's the year I was born, baby. This is by Frost Carter, aka Frosty Mac, who did a bunch of music for Volume 1, actually. As well as the game's main theme. Not the title theme, but the one that plays like at the beginning of every route, the prologue. Yeah, the Showtime was the song that was originally being used in that mini game. Not in this game, but in the previous in New Game Plus. So yeah, I wanted something that had like an homage to that, but wasn't that because I have the rights to that song.
I'm gonna make a really specific reference. It gave me a lot of vibes of the famous DS game by Way Forward, Adventure Time. Hey Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? It gives me the vibes of that soundtrack.
I would have said the old school NES Mega Man games, but that's I'm not familiar with the one you referenced, so
It's a Way Forward game. It goes hard. It's really
nice.
Good.
So now we're getting pretty close to the end of the soundtrack, and we're near the two so we got 4 songs left, and these are Volume 13 and 14. So these ones. Volume 13 wasn't written like when the route was written. It was being written for a while. So Rainey did both this and this one, and Something Isn't Right, and next one, Clear and Apparent Danger. So Something Isn't Right is the song that plays when you're like walking around Triza's palace / prison tower. And then Clear and Apparent Danger is what plays when Nike is trying to go kill you. So yeah, Something Isn't Right is a very sort of ominous sounding, forlorn, and then Clear and Apparent Danger is much more like high energy. Yeah, I'm gonna play them both back to back. They're very much paired songs. They were written for the same volume by the same person. Who unfortunately couldn't be here, so they can't explain their process. But the vibe was very much like this is the ominous theme, and then the other one is the You're Gonna Die Soon theme. So yeah, this is Something Isn't Right by Rainey, and the next song will be Clear and Apparent Danger, also by Rainey. now we just have two songs left on the soundtrack. These are the ones that are new to Volume 14.
The Haunted Place is what I call my Unity project file.
So this is another James Roach song. The same story as the last one, except that this title was a one where I named it. It was like, yeah, name it whatever. And it's like, okay, I'll name it whatever. So more straightforward title. There are three James Roach songs on it. Well, 4, because there's 3 that were written for another project and then repurposed. And then there's one that is the title theme, which was written specifically for Friendsim too. So yeah, this is Into the Haunted Place. This is the first theme that plays when you first get to the Green Moon in Volume 14, and then the other one we'll talk about when we get through with this one. So yeah, this is Into the Haunted Place by James Roach. Yeah, that was the 3 James Roach songs on the soundtrack that aren't from the title, that aren't the title of Friendsim 2, which was written originally for Friendsim 2. We're all New Game Plus tracks, all for this Aradia route. That was my sort of like pet project. So there was this was like the final theme that would play in the section, the 3rd season, where you were like, the captain found a copy of Suburb that like washed up in the ship, and you had to basically stop her from running it and ending the world again.
I really like Arati as a character because she's so open and candid about her feelings, but a lot of her music is really melancholy.
Yes.
Despite her optimism, it's good.
And actually, so like the use of the sort of Aradia inspired music in Volume 14 is very appropriate because Damara is a major character in Volume 14. So she is there kicking around in her.
Bitches love Damara. Well, from what I've learned.
Her 13-year-old, handmaiden training. There's a lot of weird stuff. We'll talk about it next week when we do.
From when she was green and Kiwami.
Yeah. We'll do the stream next week for the Volume 14, and I'll talk through some of the background of like why it's so different from like the canon. Like the timeline has diverged so much because of everything Miss Parr's been doing, and it has inspirations from some very particular places, which we'll talk about next time. I don't want to spoil that ahead of our writer's stream. Because it's an interesting route. There's some interesting like narrative commentary there. But yeah, this final track, this is our last one for tonight, and then we'll say our good nights. This is Narrative Entanglement. That's Grace Medley. Grace composed a few tracks for our game. Most of them appear earlier in the game. She did a couple of tracks for Volume 3. I think she did Hostile Intent and one of the other ones, maybe two of the other ones. She did a couple of tracks, but yeah, she another longtime fan composer. She's also done work on Snowbound Blood, among other things. And this was another one where I found her through Snowbound Blood music and fan music in general, and was like, hey, can you write music for my game? I'll pay you money. And yeah, she wrote some really cool tracks, and I like this one a lot. This is kind of the final unique piece of music you're going to hear in the game, because after that, it's stuff that you've heard already. So this is the when the vibe kind of switches midway through Volume 14, this is the music that plays. And yeah, this is Narrative Entanglement by Grace Medley. right. I'm gonna put us back on the waiting screen. There we go. So yeah, that is the entirety of the second volume of the Friendsim 2 original soundtrack.
I love ambient track so much.
Yeah, I really like that one. Like I implied in chat, there's some commentary about the title of that and the story of Volume 14 and what Miss Parr is doing, and I'll talk about that next weekend.
So... I'm sad that I got on too late to contribute any music to this.
Yeah, real quick before we kind of wrap this up, next weekend, this coming Saturday, we are going to do the Volume 14 Writers Stream. It'll probably be just me and Anna, most likely. Maybe
should we invite any of the writers
I think we might grab additional people, and just say like, hey, anyone that wants to that worked on the game that wants to chill and like watch us play and read lines. Yeah, that would be fun, I think.
It would be funny for me as somebody who has never played the game to see the ending.
Yeah, you gotta look at the actual like end of the game. So yeah, I think I'll do that. I probably will do that. It will be on Anna's channel as is tradition.
Yeah. Articulately composed.
So yeah, we'll post announcements about that in the coming week and figure out the time. It'll probably start sometime in the afternoon, and it'll probably go a couple of hours at least.
It'll probably go pretty long if we have
people
on. There'll be lots of discussion.
Yeah, there's some commentary about the game that I'd like to go through and just have some fun with that. So yeah, if you're interested, we'll do that this coming weekend. Yeah, I want to thank the people who joined me. Right now, we've got Zara and Uber and Anna are with me. Also, JoJo stopped in briefly, CL stopped in briefly, and Arrow stopped in for a little bit. So I want to thank all of them as well. Y'all that are with me, do you have anything you want to promo or talk about or plug your social media or whatever? We'll go.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing explicitly. If there are any Jari fans in chat, I'm still working on it. It's just on the back burner. I have something special cooking.
Excellent. I'm excited about that.
It's gonna be a while. I can't program.
Yeah. It's a process. Uber, do you have anything you're cooking
up? Yeah, I got a couple. Hi, I'm Uber. Uber the man. I don't do I'm sure like 90% of the viewers, if not all, are like, invested in Homestuck stuff. Unfortunately, I don't do much Homestuck stuff nowadays. But hey, I mean, if you like women, and if you like gay women, and if you like to see them like kissing,
if you had me at women.
You can follow me on my Blue Sky where I do like a bunch of stuff. I draw a lot of fucking gay girl OCs and play around with them, and also like I'm helping out with a couple like visual novel games that's hopefully gonna be revealed soon-ish, I hope. And I also do some Korean translations, just like as like a service. Like, so hey, if you have any like games, comics, or whatever that you wanna, hey, I want this to like reach more audiences, like just hit me up and I'll translate it to Korean. And also I also got some commissions open. I do 3D modeling. I do 2D art.
Yeah.
If you want like a 3D model of your like character as a plushie, you can get that. You can get that as something. Get your OC as a plushie, why don't you?
And what is your Blue Sky for all of this exciting content?
It is uberdeme.bsky.social. So
I should plug mine too.
I posted in the chat, so if you want to follow. If you want,
I'm zaranerd.grimdorks.net.
Excellent.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is Uber's social media. Anna, what do you got for us here?
So, honestly, I don't have too much Homestuck stuff in the pipeline right now either. aside from performing at Promstuck, if any of you are going to Promstuck in California, I will be singing as Vriska there, if you've ever wanted to see my Vriska live. But other than that, I've, got all sorts of, like, real-life music projects going on. I'm currently finishing up Act 1 of a musical adaptation of Jane Austen's Persuasion. If you are interested in musicals at all, honestly, I would recommend my Patreon, because I do post previews and demos of my musical numbers there. That is articulately composed on Patreon. I am writing a soundtrack for a game right now. I'm, doing some, actually a game made by another one of the Friendsim artists. It's called Gloire et Pot-à-Feu by Herc, who's done some of the... What did Herc do?
Herc did the backgrounds for some of the backgrounds for Volume 12 and the backgrounds for Volume 8.
So there's that, and so the thing that I am most invested in right now is actually a actual play podcast that I'm DMing and Janaya is on, called Moment of Balance, and it is using the Avatar Legends system. It is set in the Avatar: The Last Airbender universe, and just imagine if Legend of Korra was gayer.
Yeah.
And also there are guns.
That's a good. Awesome. That's a good. Yeah. So I also, ironically, being as the director of this game and also a Act 3 part-time producer and general Homestuck person, am also not super doing a lot of Homestuck stuff lately. Mostly because I've been busy and kind of moving into other things. So I'm, my big thing right now is also Moment of Balance. I play one of the characters on that.
A lesbian with a gun.
A lesbian with a gun. It's good. We're going to be releasing that in September. You've already heard of Friendsim too. You're here because of that.
You should stick the link to the Moment of Balance. Either Blue Sky or Tumblr, because we are posting stuff every Monday. Either art of the characters, or we're going to post little interviews of the characters, and it's the gay level that you wish Legend of Korra was, but like actually gay. It's on.
It's going to be on the Bard Rock network of actual play podcasts. It's a Avatar Legends podcast. It's very narrative heavy. We edit out a lot of the like gameplay table banter stuff.
I edit the shit out of it because I don't like listening to gameplay. I don't like the narrative being broken up. So it's all narrative.
If you're looking for more of a sort of a collaborative storytelling experience, I think that might be fun.
It's fucked up. I led with Jari when that's on like my lowest priority project right now. If I had to give like an elevator pitch for my current thing I'm working on, imagine Ace Attorney, but Phoenix Wright has to solve time travel murders.
That sounds dope. Lead with that. Yeah, I'm not really working on a ton of active projects other than Moment of Balance. I have a couple of things for Studio June in the pipeline potentially, but that's kind of like a little ways off. I am, I'll also, I guess, I have been, there's been an audio version of, if you are interested in some more Homestuck stuff by me, I wrote a fic called The 24th Problem. It's still ongoing, but it's like long. And there's actually an audiobook version of that that's being worked on. It's on hiatus right now just because I'm in the middle of a bunch of life stuff that makes that difficult. But it will eventually get finished. So if you're interested in that, it's on my AO3, which is the same as everything else. I don't. Yeah, check that out. It's interesting. It's like if Homestuck were combined with the Dark Tower and a bunch of other the Expanse and a bunch of other stuff. It's not very much like the comic, but it has the same characters and they are kind of the same people.
It's really fucking good.
I think it's very good. It's also not very much like the original source material.
My other project is Wake Up Teniad, which I can't. It's so hard to describe. It's a young adult rebellion story that goes from rebelling against the fictional empire to the narrative conventions that deem conflict necessary.
Excellent. That sounds interesting too. So yeah, follow everyone. I dropped everyone's socials in here. CL's Blue Sky is kind of not being used yet, but I don't think they're super active on social media. But I dropped everyone. I dropped everyone's just so you can follow the people that jumped in here. Oh, JoJo. Let me put JoJo in there.
Also, as long as we are shilling things that are unrelated to the Homestuck fandom, if anyone here has ever been interested in online voice lessons or online music theory and composition lessons, if you wanna learn music, I am offering affordable music lessons online through Discord. Info is on my Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Speaking
I've already
of
offered
voice
a lot of lessons to people in the Homestuck fandom, so sorry to interrupt.
In relation to voice lessons that Anna does, I would like to plug one more thing. I guess shedding more detail on the thing I said, but I am helping my wonderful girlfriend develop a visual novel, and Anna is going to be voicing a major character in that visual novel, and it's not a lot of stuff is revealed publicly yet, but I will say though, if you like Yuri, if you like morally ambiguous women, and also like perverted women.
I love women.
I think this might be something up your alley. So
nice.
give a follow to charlahan.bsky.social if you want to keep track of what Char makes and the game progress that we make and all that stuff.
Hell yes.
But yeah. Anyways, lesbians, gay, Yuri.
What's the point of being a creator if you can't put as many gay people as possible in there? You
exactly.
Exactly. As many gay characters in.
Slaps top of the collar.
I've been obsessed with my fucking. I've been obsessed with my fucking vampire lesbian OCs for the past couple weeks. It's like, it's toxic. It's bad. It's dire.
I don't know. We're I just want to say before we wrap this up. So this is obviously about the soundtrack. We'll get into more stuff about the actual game and Volume 14 next week, or this technically this week on Saturday. But I just want to say the soundtrack for this game has been a hell of an experience to kind of coordinate. A lot of really skilled musicians on here. Really interesting different things done with the different tracks. It's been a genuine pleasure to work with all the musicians and kind of walk through the process and give them some creative freedom to do something interesting with the soundtrack to this game. And I'm really happy with it. The music is such a big part of the Homestuck fandom, and this soundtrack, I really enjoy it. We've got a lot of tracks. I think between the two albums we got 65 tracks or something like that. A few hours of music, and it's good. It's I think it fits the routes really well. I think it's really good. It's well written. I appreciate that we were able to give some of the musicians an opportunity to repurpose some of their old stuff in interesting ways.
Finally, those little songs from that little squid thing that never got released.
We believe in recycling around here. Same with art assets. There's some art assets. The Technicolor Heart was a bunch of stuff from New Game Plus that was never going to see the light of day. So I'm glad I got
recycling. I can't believe Friendsim 2 is woke.
we got a chance to reuse some stuff that was never going to be released otherwise, which is good because it's nice to get that out there for people to see. And so I really appreciate the hard work of all the musicians that were involved in this. More generally, everyone that worked in this game, but this is really about the music right now. So very cool experience, and I appreciate everything, even people that just did one little track. It's still that's really cool. So yeah, thanks to those of you who are on here that did music for the game, and anyone else who worked on this game that happens to be listening to this. I I want you to know how much I appreciate the work you did and how much I liked working with you. Like this has been a really good experience, and I'm, on one hand relieved that it's over because it's a lot of work, and now I don't have to worry about it as much anymore. But also, like, I feel kind of sad too because it's been a big part of my life for the last 4 years. So yeah, I appreciate that.
I would like to thank the Academy.
Yeah.
And Jonaya for sending me money.
Start playing loud music over. Well, let me get the soundtrack up again real quick.
Do you know one clip of Mads Mikkelsen like playing the Wii? And I think it's like Wii Sports specifically. And he wins a game and he goes like, "Oh my god, I want to thank my mom and my dad.
I'm going to Disney World."
And thanks to those of you who are listening. I hope you had a good time. I'm glad that we could kind of provide some behind the scenes stuff and some of the music and like how it gets chosen and what the experience of developing it is, because like I think a lot of times you just hear a song and you don't really know what the context for it is, and sometimes there's a really interesting story behind it. So I think it's cool to be able to kind of give people that. So yeah, I think we're gonna go.
I wish I could have gotten in on the soundtrack. I'll just settle for the next. I'll just settle for the next Zocon album.
Yeah, next song.
I think Homestuck is a great like platform to like experiment with like what you can create and like what you enjoy creating.
I agree.
It's because the comic lays such a good like foundational like mechanical framework to build off of.
It's a sandbox.
Yeah. I feel like
you want to play in it.
I feel
really
like people would like kind of.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. This always happens.
I have like a whole spiel about like narrative and like gameplay mechanics in Homestuck and how they bounce off of each other to make a foundation for people to build off of.
We can do it next week.
Yeah.
Talk about it next week.
Yeah.
But yeah. Good shit.
Yeah. Next week we'll do game design thoughts, and I have a lot to say about the ending of the game and how everything fits together as the director and the person who wrote the last couple volumes. Because we as a team kind of came up with a very specific like way to look at this game and the way to look at like Friendsim to Pester Quest to this game, and I as the director have a very specific like intent behind it, and I want to talk about it. But also it's midnight and I need to go take a shower and I have work tomorrow. So yeah, no, I appreciate everyone coming and listening. I'm glad people like the soundtrack. It was fun to hang out with my co-hosts and talk music stuff, and reminisce about this process of creating this, which now stretches back. Even the Volume 2 stuff is like that goes back like 3 years.
Yeah.
So
totally.
No, it was cool. I had fun. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for coming. Please come back next week, not to this channel, but to Anna's channel, and we will go through the last volume, play through the Revolution route, and talk about the game itself. So
if this game doesn't make people cry, I'm going to be highly disappointed.
I hope so. I really hope so. But
hope it's woke.
It's woke. It's extremely woke. We will talk about that next week on Anna's channel. Maybe I'll see some of y'all back then. And good night, everyone. And we will see y'all in a little less than a week.
Thank you all so much for
watching. Go to bed.
And we will see you all later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now.
Bye. Go to bed.
I had to do my YouTube.